Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing Dark Souls, ranking every boss in the game except 2 because I haven't fought 2 of them yet and I don't know how to get to them. But Dark Souls 1 is like one of my favorite games. I think it's an original game for me, and I've beat it a couple times and I've had fun every time. So enough talk, let's get to ranking the bosses. The Asylum Demon, one of my, not my favorite boss, but it is a very fun boss. And it is a very good boss to start the game because it's very nice how it's not super hard, but it's not super easy. So it's a challenge, and it really gives you the idea of what Dark Souls is all about, how hard it is. And I think that's really good. I think you need that in a tutorial boss. It really teaches you about the game, and the whole tutorial area is just really nice to know how to play the game, and there's like so many notes to tell you like how to parry, how to backstab, how to like use huge attacks and small attacks. It's just a good way to start the game, and I think they did a good job with the tutorial boss. Pinwheel. It's a good boss fight, I guess. It's not one of my favorites. I think they might have been able to do better on this boss. It's still fun though. It's still fun though. And it gets kind of chaotic, but if you have a strong weapon, you can kill the pinwheel in like 2-3 hits. So it definitely isn't my favorite boss in the game, but it's definitely not a bad boss. Spider Lady, because I'm not sure if I pronounce her name right. This boss is decently hard. I think it's a good, challenging fight in the game. The thing is, it's in Blighttown, which you get poisoned like all the time. I don't know how you can resist that. So you might be on low health. You might be on like not full health when you fight this boss, but you don't really need it. The only thing that's hard about this boss is when she does her AoE attack, which you can, if you're doing a strategy which is really good for every boss, where you hit their butt the whole time, then sometimes you'll get caught in the spider legs and can't dodge the AoE attack, which is kind of annoying. But I mean, the boss itself is pretty hard, but I wouldn't say it's one of the hardest. Sorry for the wait, the thing was cutting weird. But the Moonlight Butterfly, not much to talk about. And with the Moonlight Butterfly, she does some spells. She's really annoying. It takes so long. It's not a very good boss fight. Oh, it's only easy when you have spells, and that's sometimes even hard because she can like dodge like all your soul arrows you shoot at her when she's flying around. Only rarely you hit her. It's not a very, like I said, it's not a very good boss. It's not very hard also if you learn how to dodge her like 2 attacks. It's not very hard. I keep saying that, but I don't know how to end this ending thing. Taurus Demon, also not very hard. It is a fun fight though. And it's not very hard. I wouldn't skip it. Go through all the trouble just to skip this boss. He gives you quite a few souls, and it's just, he's not very hard also, so you might as well just fight him. He might have, he should have been lower on the list probably, but kind of got mixed up a little bit. But yeah, it's just he smashes you. I like how he jumps off that tower though. And yeah, that's all I can really think to say about this guy. Capra Demon. It's not very hard. It is cheap, I'll admit that. But I mean, if you can just kill his little minion rat dog things in one hit, then you're fine. He's not very hard himself. He just does one attack where he puts his swords together and attacks you. But I mean, it's not like terrible. And I just don't think he's like a very good boss. Sorry. I don't know what that was. He's just not a very good boss in general. The Bell Gargoyle. Oh, do I have some stuff to say about this boss fight? This boss fight, I would say, is pretty darn hard. It's a pretty high difficulty spike from the Asylum Demon, because you have to fight two of them at the same time on half health, which is annoying. But I mean, if you can learn to dodge their attacks, or you can block them pretty well, it is not like terrible. You have to fight them, I would say, a couple times to get the gist of how to fight them. But you can dodge their fire and stuff, not too hard. The only thing I would say is really annoying is how they attack you, like, they push you with their, like, whatever you call them, off the whole board. And that's just annoying. But, I mean, there is another boss that does that we'll be getting to later in the video. Which I didn't realize was right after it. The Iron Golem also pushes you off the little bridge you're on. I would say, is a pretty hard fight. With him shooting stuff out of his huge giant axe, Zelda style. And I guess he's not shooting axes out of his axe. But it's kind of annoying. He can do that dumb attack where he grabs you and, like, throws you down. You usually fall off the bridge, which is very annoying. But sometimes, if you get really lucky, you can be dumb and keep rolling. And sometimes, because there's a little glitch that happens when you roll at the right time, and what will happen is you'll still be alive and you have to, like, sorry that cut a little bit in the video. I'm not sure. Sorry that cut a little bit in the video. I wasn't sure if that just went over top it. But great. The Gaping Dragon. This is not very hard. I'm not sure what this is on the list, but you can come pretty easily. It's just he has so much health that you'll get cocky at the end when you learn his moves, and bam, he just slams right on you. Or he, like, eats you. But this boss fight I would think would be easier with people, but I don't have any friends, and I didn't fight this with multiple people, but I would say that would be so much easier. Oh, the Centipede Demon, which is not my dog, and I don't think it looks like my dog at all. It's just my dog with a hat sideways on, because I couldn't find a good picture where you could actually really see the Centipede Demon. Centipede Demon, I think, is a pretty hard fight. That you have to stay in like one spot. And I hate how he jumps up and slams the tail on you. And once you cut off his tail, the tails attack you. And it's kind of annoying. At least he's pretty close to the Fire Sage Demon, which I'm not sure if we found that yet. It is probably right after this. But, that's all. At least it gives you a ring where you can wear it and you don't take much fire damage at all, which is good. But, I mean, you still take damage and it adds up after a while. Gwen, Lord of Cinder. I'm not sure if this is the right picture. When I looked up Dark Souls 1 bosses, this is what came up. I don't remember him throwing lightning bolts at me, and I don't remember him looking like this, but, I mean, I could be mistaken, and that could be a sword, I don't know. But, this boss fight is definitely very disappointing, because you would think the final boss of the game would be harder than this, but all you really have to do is parry him like 5 times, which sounds like a lot for parrying, but it really isn't. He's pretty easy to do that with. I guess he is fast, which is hard, but I mean, it's not very hard to parry him. But yeah, so yeah. Ceaseless Discharge, probably really easy. I put it so high on the list though, because if you didn't do the little mini game thing and you fought him legitimately, that would be a nightmare. And I don't know how a person could do that, make their hands go so fast. If you fought him legitimately, he would be over 1. He would be like the hardest boss in the whole game and probably the hardest boss anywhere. But since you don't have to do that, it's split the difference kinda, and 9 I think is a good place for him. And I mean, he is annoying, but the little mini game thing makes it so you really don't have to do much at all to beat him. The Stray Demon is a reskin of the Asylum Demon. I guess it is kind of cool, but it's really boring because you've already fought the Asylum Demon, and it's just a reskin of it. It has the same attacks, but I mean, it has AoE attacks now that are really annoying to dodge. So that's why it's so high on the list. But it's not a very fun boss fight. If we were going from the funnest boss fights, this would be number 20. And also the next boss I have the same opinion about the next, because it's just another reskin. So yeah. This I'll make short. I have the same opinion about it. It's not very good. And I guess it is a little harder because all the crud all over the screen you have to face. But I think it's boring. We're getting close to the final boss. This boss, I mean, it probably should be lower or higher on the list because I don't think it's very hard. It should not be this. It should not be this, close to number 1. The only reason I did that is because I got confused, and also it's really hard to kill because it's really cute and you don't want to kill it at all. And also, it is pretty tough, and it is a fun boss, and I think they did a really good job on this one. Oh, we're getting there. Seth the Scaleless. It is not very hard. I mean, it's hard, and I hate this boss because you have to go all the way back. You have to get a purge stone whenever you get cursed, and that's like every 2 seconds, which is really annoying. So that's probably one of the reasons why it's so high on the list. It's number 3. But like, its attacks are pretty hard, and also the first time you fight it, you might not know what to do, and also, the first time you go into it, if you don't kill those clam things, they chase after you, and you have to fight them also in the boss fight, but that's not after you fight it the second time, so it's just worth it if you run past those guys to just
Sorry guys, I didn't know I was skipping ahead. But this boss, Nito,
deserves number 2. It's very hard. The screams, like, they're almost impossible to dodge, and they toxic you or poison you, I forget. And it's dark. The skeletons, you would want to have a divine weapon, but you want to do so much damage to him. At least he does that AoE attack, which like kills everyone, but it doesn't do too much damage to you. But also, skeletons revive, and you can't run around in the boss fight because then you'll run into bigger guys, which is very annoying. And I really think this boss deserves number 2 in it because this boss is very hard. The boss you've all been waiting for. The boss I think is the hardest boss. The 4 Kings. These guys, there's not 4 of them. There's like 70. And it's really annoying. You have to go fight Sif to get the Abyss thing. And if you didn't know that, you go all the way there. Then you have to go all the way back out of that ghost town place. Then you have to go all the way back. And then you have to drain the place. And then you have to do all that stuff, which is really annoying, so it's hard to even get to the boss. And then after that, the boss is very hard. You like the AoE attack, it grabs you. There's like 70 of them. If you don't kill them fast enough, you have to have like a really powerful weapon in this fight. And it like shoots stuff at you. And if you played in New Game Plus, I just gave up because this is the final boss I was fighting in New Game Plus, and they like shoot like 70 projectiles at you. It's just chaos in New Game Plus, also in normal game. But this definitely deserves number 1, maybe Nito, but I mean, this boss, the boss itself might be easier than Nito, but how to get to it is harder. Because you only have to go through the catacombs, which isn't very hard. But in this one, you have to do a bunch of crap, go through the ghost town. You have to have either a special weapon to attack them,